So for those that's been with us for this series, obviously we've been talking a lot about mindset. It's about an I would say an 8 series chapter going on here with mindset, and it's really important, obviously, for for the obvious reasons. Obvious reasons being, even when I'm training my new people, I have to train them on mindset first. And I have to train them on mindset first because we always like to make sure that your mind is where it needs to be in order for you to grow in whatever space you're trying to grow in, whether you're trying to double your income, double your business. It could be family issues. It could be whatever you've got going on. I mean, whatever's happening in your space, anything of that nature, you want to make sure you're in a position to be able to do it. So that's why this series is so important. And this is why we like to make sure that we cover it so much. And that's why the book and all the other things that I have out available for it is there so that people can read and look at things on their own time as it comes to mindset. So I'm gonna be covering some things out the book, of course, today. And I'll be pulling some excerpts up from the book and talking a little bit about those things as well. If anybody has any kind of mindset situations that they would like to bring up, then I may open it up to do a little bit of that. But just keep in mind, guys, that your mindset is always going to be first and foremost. That's going to be the most important thing that you're going to have to change before you change anything else. And it goes so much deeper than just, hey, look what I'm doing in business, what's happening with family and things of that nature. So thank you all for joining us. And for those that are looking at this on a recording, just understand that the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you can subscribe to our notifications. So you will see these things pop up on YouTube. You will also get an email letting you know that we drop a new video. We make sure we drop at least 2 videos on a weekly basis on everything from becoming an entrepreneur to generally growing your business. We talk about things like mindset, personal branding, leadership. I sent an email out just about 2 days ago where we just released two more books, one on leadership and some more information on another release on mindset as well. I just saw you pop in here too, Jim. I will be sending you an email on the branded information because I know maybe you had a conversation about the book having more branding information in it as far as it coming from Training by Dunbar. So we got that stuff done. So I'll be shooting you over a branded copy of that book with all the copyright and all all of the technical stuff that me and you talked about on the phone.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Yeah, we got it done. So we did some cover work to it and put some branding tags on the bottom, some links to some of our other things. We even put some resources in the back of the book as well. So definitely appreciate you for bringing that to my attention. We was moving a little bit too fast, but sometimes that's how you have to move. So it's always good for somebody to catch those things and bring them to our attention. So I'm gonna try to come in and out of this book so that I don't just get stuck going through the pages of the book. I want to talk about the book, but I want to kind of come out of the screen share as well a little bit. So hopefully you guys can see. Let me know if you guys can see this book I'm scrolling through right now.
I can see it.
All right. I just wanted to look at a couple things on this chapter, just so you guys can see that. And again, this is directly from the book, guys. Fix versus growth. I know we talked about a little bit about this last week. Excuse me, the week before last. And it's just so much more when it comes to growth versus fix. And we want you guys to really understand the difference. So I'm gonna take a couple of things out of here, and then we'll discuss them and see where you may fit in, because this is about you identifying who and where you are when it comes to mindset, so that you can correct the things that you need to correct. So you see, it says by now, you know the way you think about. Excuse me, let me move my camera here. All right, the way you think about your ability has a very real impact on the results you achieve in life. Interestingly enough, both fixed and growth mindsets are highly self-reinforcing, but in vastly different ways. If you believe the ability in an ingrained or fixed feature which you were born with and can't change, then you possess a fixed mindset. But if you think that you can develop this ability through effort and practice, then you have a growth mindset. And this goes back to our conversations about people who feel like, oh, well, this is just the way I am. Or you find an adult that makes an excuse of why they drink because their parent was an alcoholic. Or you find a man who beats his wife because his father beat his mother, and he thinks that because his father beat his mother and he saw that all his life, that's an excuse for him to do it. That's a life example. But even in business, you can look at the same thing. I know people who have 9-to-5s who in the back of their mind thinking, it'd be great for me to be a business owner, but it's kind of, I had a hard working family. My father worked in a warehouse all his life, and my mother was a nurse all her life. And, that's kind of what I was born into. And it's like, no, you can change your mindset to whatever you want to. Whatever happened when you were growing up, whatever, my parents, neither one of them owned a business, but I've been a business owner all my life. One of my sisters is a business owner. The other one of my sisters is a nurse. So you can, no matter what household you grow up in, you can still change your mindset to fit whatever it is that you want to become, what you want to do with your life. And that fixed mindset will come from, hey, I was born into this. I inherited to this. I inherited this. This is part of my genealogy, all those different things. And that's really just an excuse to not change, right? So it says each belief leads to different behaviors and consequently different results. Of the two, having a growth mindset where you are ready and willing to learn and improve is the key to success, right? Having said that, it doesn't imply that hard work, persistence, and struggle aren't important. They are, but only when you believe that you aren't limited, are in full control of your destiny. So let's talk a little bit about mindset and practice, right? Individuals with these two mindsets not only think differently, but also react to information in a different manner. In fact, the differences can be stark when they respond to information about performance. So for instance, people with a fixed mindset respond very well to information about how well they have done something. It could be anything from trying out a new recipe to learning a new language or working on a do-it-yourself project or doing well on test results and grades. Like some people, like they have an opportunity to grow, and because they have the opportunity to grow, when they do something like get a good grade on a test or go get certified to do something, and it's been in their mind for years and they just never done it, they get really super excited about it because when they have a fixed mindset, like I said, so we have a fixed mindset, respond very well to information about how well they have done something. And when you have a growth mindset, you kind of expect that, what you'll see as we move forward. So it's little small things for a person with a fixed mindset really gets them excited because they'll say to themselves, I wonder, can I make that right with the recipe? Or I wonder, can I own a business? Can I work from home, right? On top of me having a 9-to-5, different things of that nature. So it's so many different things that they're just little small things that mean it's a big deal to a fixed mindset person because they're thinking that, hey, where I'm at is where I'm at. Like I'm not a business owner. I'm a 9-to-5er. Or they may have bought into or was given the opportunity to run the business that their parents owned, and they don't expand that business because they think, well, I'm not gonna go outside of the box. I'm just gonna stay here. So sometimes it can be a business owner and they'll still have a fixed mindset because they may have been handed something that they're not growing. So it's not always just about, hey, look, I'm not gonna go into business ownership at all. So that mindset it goes all the way around. So their minds are more active when they learn about their good performance. Their prime, but somewhat limited concern is the result achieved with stress on the praise they receive. On the other hand, people with the growth mindset tend to be most responsive when they are told about the ways they could improve their performance. These folks want to learn how to better themselves, which leaves a lot of room for growth. They are more interested in strategies to help them evolve in the process of doing so, not merely their talent or ability. The two are, in fact, very different approaches, with the former being focused on how did I do, as opposed to the latter, which deals with what can I do better next time, right? And you guys have heard this not only from people on your team, but from people in your family, people you may work with. It just lets you know how it helps you identify not only yourself, where you stand, because you may not be clear on where you stand. It'll also help you identify where the people you stand or where the people stand around you. And this is really important when it comes to being a leader, being somebody that's in network marketing that may have a team, right? You have to be able to identify the mindset of the people on your team so you'll know how to train them, what you can say to them, what you can't say to them, different things that matter. You want to know how to confront different challenges and issues that you may have with an associate on your team. And when you're doing those things, if you don't know their mindset, it's very difficult. You're kind of walking on eggshells, and that's not really a good place to be. So it says the fixed mindset is all about how the performance was perceived. And the growth mindset is about how improvement can take place. It isn't hard to see mindset will yield better results in the long run, right? Which mindset will yield better results in the long run. So we talked about mindset, mindset and practice. Now we're gonna go over mindset in action, right? When it comes to taking action, both the fixed as well as the growth mindset are also poles apart. To refer to a very well-known example, let's look at the tortoise and the hare, right? So in the story, the hare was so certain that he could win that he sat down and went to sleep during the race. On the other hand, the tortoise was persistent and kept going, believing that that he had a chance to win. And just so you guys know, sidebar to this story. This story is a theoretically always a good story to use for example. But let me tell you, like, my mindset on this. I do not believe that slow and steady wins the race all the time. Just so you guys kind of understand where I'm at. Like, there are certain areas and places in life that process is so important that slow and steady does win the race, because it's about patience and it's about form, and it's about doing things in the correct manner to a point where that slow process does win the race. There are some things in life where slow and steady wins the race, not everything. So, like, don't apply the tortoise and the hare story to everything, because there's another term that I use too that I learned in the network marketing field, which is success loves speed. So understand that slow and steady wins the race. It has a place, but you also have to look at success loves speed as well. Because if not, you'll find yourself in a place where you think the slow grind is always where it's at. And it's not. Some things you do need to take slow. And some things it's about you wanting to, you want to go fast, because going fast will yield a better result, if that makes sense. So that's not always the case. But in this example, we're going to talk a little bit about it. But I wanted to just clarify that, because sometimes I hear people talk about the tortoise and the hare, and there's so many places in life, not even just in business, in life, where slow and steady is just not the way to do things. And I'll tell you, network marketing is one of them. Network marketing is an industry where moving fast and having that desire and that hunger and that grind will yield you a result in the 6 and 7 figures. And you can get there, taking it slow. But it takes so much longer, and then you allow so many other things that you can't, that aren't factored in to affect the result, like the company shutting down, right? Like the management changing, like people on your team that could be successful leaving. So there's so many things that can happen when you go so slow. So just keep in mind, it depends on what you do for a living, whether the tortoise and the hare or success love speed is going to be the cliche that you're going to use in that specific thing. So I hope that helps, right? So in this story, the hare was so certain that he could win that he sat down and went to sleep during the race. On the other hand, the tortoise was persistent and kept going, believing that he had a chance of winning. When the hare woke up, he started running as fast as he could, but he was just too late. In the meantime, the tortoise had won, right? So the story shows that the hare had a fixed mindset where he believed in his inherent ability for speed would guarantee a win. But the tortoise showed a growth mindset where he believed he needed to work hard to get a certain point. At the same time, he was not afraid of failure, but ready to take on a challenge. This also points out the fact that a fixed mindset can be susceptible to an overly perfect, finished view of oneself, much like the hare is thinking. This thinking pattern suggests that you are already perfect. So let me give you an example of where this can happen. And so I've had conversation with people, some business owners, some not business owners, where they'll say, I don't understand how these Hispanic people come to this country and they open up a business and they buy houses and they buy cars. And like, I went to Walmart, just take a store that's everywhere. I went to Walmart and I saw this Hispanic man and woman jump out of a Mercedes Benz, and here it is, I'm driving, or whatever I drive that's not in comparison in value, and they don't understand how this man and woman came to the United States 10 years ago, and they're doing better than you are, and you were born here, right? The reason sometimes, because there's several reasons why that could have happened. I mean, they could have had money already. There's a lot of stuff that could have happened. But let me tell you something that does happen. What we see in this story right here, where inherently you think because you're born in the United States into all of the things that are here that will allow you to be a successful whatever, 9-to-5er, a business owner, whatever, because you could be successful in the United States and do several different things. You don't have to be a business owner, right? You could be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a business owner, whatever, and be successful. I mean, you can have a mediocre job and be a really good saver and save a significant amount of money and put up and buy a nice house and drive a nice, whatever the case may be. But it's almost baked in because you know the ability is here. And then you take a person like a person from a Hispanic country who has been born into a place where there may be a dictator or there may not be a lot of opportunity to succeed, or just a lot of negative things going on, maybe just the third world aspect of what happens in other countries going on. And that person decides, I got to get out of here and I've got to make it to the United States. That person makes it to the United States, and they by no means are going to go back to that kind of lifestyle. Like when you come from a background of nothing, when you come from a country that doesn't afford you the opportunity to do much, if that's their circumstance, and you land in a place like the United States with all this opportunity, you take no chances. You take advantage of every opportunity. You don't let you work on your credit immediately because you didn't have that opportunity in another country. Like you have so many things that you take advantage of because there wasn't that opportunity before. So when you see in this story where it says the story shows that the hero had a fixed mindset where he believed that his inherent ability for speed would guarantee a win. But the tortoise showed a growth mindset where he believed he needed to work hard to get to a certain point. At the same time, he was not afraid of failure, but ready to take on the challenge. Just that paragraph right there can sum up the idea of you being 40 years old in the United States and born here with all this opportunity, and somebody come here when you're 20 and they're 40 and they're earning double what you earn, and you're wondering why they came from another country and did it. The reason why is because a lot of times, because we're here, right, we have that fixed mindset and we believe that that the inherent ability for us to earn and do well, right, guarantees us success in this country, right? But the person that comes from another country, whether they be African, whether they be Latin, whether they be Caribbean, right, they have a growth mindset and they believe that they need to work hard to get to a certain point. And at the same time, they're not afraid of failure. So you're 25 years old, and there's no way in the world you're going to have a roommate because you're like, I'm 25 years old. I'm not going to have no roommate. I'm going to have my own house because I can afford to live by myself and drive my own car, even if I'm just meeting my bills at the end of the month. And you'll have a 25-year-old living in a house with 2 or 3 people because they came from that lifestyle. It'll be 2 or 3 people living in one house using one car, and they all got 3 different jobs. Because they don't care what you feel and how you think about them, because they come from a place where that's their lifestyle. So that's not even embarrassing to them. And they save up enough money, right? Because like I got a really good relationship with my ex. Most of you guys know I got a really good relationship with my ex. We hang out, we're really good friends, and she's a realtor and she's Hispanic. You wouldn't believe how many of her Hispanic customers come and buy houses and they have cash. They're buying houses that cost $100,000, they got cash. They got $30,000, $40,000 down for a down payment that they literally saved from a job that they were making $10 to $15 an hour. We'll be born in this country and make $10, $15 an hour, $10 to $15 an hour, and we can't pay our bills. And somebody will come from another country and make $10, $15 an hour, and they'll save $30,000 or $40,000 and be sending money back home. Yes or yes? So why am I saying that? It's a different guy in a mindset. Same amount of money, but how you think determines what you do. So the tortoise and the hare story really is relative in that example because we're born here and we're thinking, oh, well, I'm automatically in a place where I can win. I'll get to it when I get a chance. I'll win when I get ready. And that person with that growth mindset that comes from another country, they're coming here to grow. That's the entire reason why they're coming here is because they want to be successful, right? So I'm always on the opposite end of that argument when I'm sitting with a group of people and they say, oh, these Asian people come over here and they open up all these nail salons and they don't even do our nails right. And they talking about us in another language. And it's just like, you just kind of hating. Because if you know anything about Asian people, guess what they're doing? They're coming here to if you have any Asian friends, right, that are bilingual, that know how to speak their language, but they know how to speak English, right? I've got Asian friends. They come here to open a business. That is why they come here. They're not coming here for no American lifestyle. I don't even like our lifestyle. They're literally coming here to open a business. Like they're being trained to come here and open a business. So when they come here and get a job, they're only getting a job while they position themselves to open up the business. You see the difference in the mindset, guys? If you understand what I'm talking about, put yes or yes, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're in the chat box on Zoom, right? So most of the Asian population, not every single time. Look, guys, I'm not generalizing. I'm generalizing here to a certain extent. Every Asian person doesn't come here for that reason. Not every single one. That's not everybody's story. Most of the time, when an Asian person is coming over to the United States, they're being sent here and their family is sending them here to open a business. They go to school, they get a job, and that's all temporary while they're opening a business. So their end goal is to open a business. And a lot of times us in the United States, we end up opening one. We're going to school to get a job. They're going to school and working so that they can open a business. So it's not happenstance that an Asian couple or an Asian man or woman comes over here and opens up a nail salon. They're coming to do that very thing. They're coming to open up an Asian restaurant because they know that we want Asian food. You understand what I'm saying? So don't misunderstand that. They're coming for the opportunity that we're already in. So when you look at this paragraph that says, so the story shows that the hare, right, had a fixed mindset where he believed that it's in inherent ability for speed will guarantee a win. That is us in the United States thinking that we can win whenever we get ready to because we live in the best country in the world. And that's debatable, right? But the tortoise show a growth mindset, and that is the foreigner who gets their citizenship here, and they believe that they need to work hard to get us to a certain point to get the same thing that we here take advantage of having. So most of us are living the tortoise and hare story. So the next time you ask yourself why somebody came to this country and they're doing better than you, that's why. The next time you go by, next time you get to a red light and you're driving whatever you drive that you feel like may be a mediocre vehicle, and you look to your left or to your right, and you see some Indian person, and I don't mean Native American Indian, I mean from India, and they're driving a Porsche. When you see some Cuban guy, and if you go down to Miami, right, and you see the Cuban guys driving Ferraris and driving Porsches and driving these nice vehicles, and you're wondering why you're driving what you're driving, it's because they left a bad situation to come here for the opportunity that we're born in, and because we're born in it, we don't take advantage of it. Some of us are trying to reach an income level that some people are born into in this country, and they're on drugs and they're in rehab because they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Same scenario, guys. It's a mindset. I know that I can fix that situation whenever I get ready to, right? Whenever I get ready to. So let's look at the basics of that fix and that growth, right? Or that growth mindset. So people with a fixed mindset accept their traits as a given. And remember, guys, on the people out on YouTube, it's gonna move a little bit slower for you. You're gonna see it catch up. People with a fixed mindset accept their traits as a given. They believe there is a certain amount of intelligence and talent, and there is nothing that can change this fact. So people with this mindset are often concerned about their traits and how adequate they are. With the fixed mindset, you believe that your ability is innate, and you find failure unsettling as it makes you question how good you really are. Another belief shared by people with this mindset is that there's a hidden upper limit to what you can achieve, right? All in the differences of your mindset, right? So for instance, if you struggle with your school, if you struggle through school, you may well believe that you are not cut out for college. You may never even try out for college, but get stuck in a low-paying, non-engaging job instead. Such a job won't do anything for stimulating your brain, and the belief of inadequacy becomes your reality. So guys, how many of you right now, right? And you know, whether you're on YouTube or you're in the chat, and if you want to be on the Zoom for any reason, if you're on YouTube and that's where you want to be at, just fine. If you want to be on the Zoom, the top of the chat, guys, there's a link to take you into the Zoom. That's the first thing I posted there. So if you want to go in there, you can. If you want to stay on YouTube, that's totally fine. I'm good with that. So I want you guys to think about yourself. Think about people that are very close to you. Ask yourself, where are you at? Where you stand in what you do, right? Are you in some position, right, where you feel like you're no longer happy there, there's no longer any growth there, but you're just gonna go ahead and stay in that position or ride that thing out because, you know, this is what I've been doing for the last 10 years. So that's what I've been doing for the last 15 years, right? Like, are you in that position? If you are, and you're willing to say so, just put yes or yes in the chat or put yes or yes in the YouTube. But guess what, guys? I need you to change that. I need you to change that, guy. Like, look, it doesn't matter what age you are. It does not matter what age you are. You can always change your mindset and get into a different place. So let me talk to you a little bit about health, right? You know, as we, and I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. What I'm scrolling up to is not gonna talk about what I'm talking about. You know, guys, I'm always talking about something else. So when it comes to health, right? So I am not a dieter, right? I don't know if that's a word. I don't know if doctor is a word, but if it is, for the educators, right? I don't know if it's a word. If it's not a word, I'm sorry. I'm not a dieter, not because I don't think diets work, right? It's not that I don't think diets work. It's because I believe, oh, hold on one second, guys. I mean, looks like we got some, make sure everybody muted. All right. I'm not a dieter, not because I don't believe diets work. I don't think diets don't work. It just depends on your mindset. If you are the person that can diet, then diet. I cannot diet because I cannot deal with the idea of not being able to eat a specific thing just because. Just the way my brain works. It's like I'm on a diet like keto, right? For instance, keto. Like I got friends that's on keto and they praise the keto diet. They love it. I don't eat bread. I eat little or no carbs or whatever. It's like I can't do it. Like I want bread just because I can't eat it. Like I'll try to eat more bread if I'm on the keto diet than I will if I'm not on one, just because I'm being told I can't eat it. So it's like for me, dieting doesn't work because the minute that I feel like I'm not supposed to be eating something, I'm going to want to eat it. So what do? I do lifestyle. So what I do is I moderate things and I say, okay, I'm going to eat in moderation. So I'm going to change what I eat so that I eat healthier things. I'm not going to not eat things. I'm going to eat healthier things. So when I go to the grocery store, I do not buy sweets because I am a sweet eater and I know that I will eat it, but I know I'm not going to get in the car and drive to the grocery store to buy sweets, right? I'm not going to get in the car. I'm just not going to drive to go buy something sweet to eat. If it's not in my house, I'm not going to eat it. So I just don't buy it, right? Lifestyle. Don't put it in my house, can't buy, right? I don't drink anything but water. I don't ever drink anything else but water. So that's all I buy. So I buy cases of water and that's all that's in my house. So if I get thirsty, right, I'm going to drink water. I make sure I drink 2 bottles of water before I do anything when I get up in the morning. So when I get up in the morning, before I have coffee, before I eat anything, and I normally don't eat in the morning, but before I eat, whenever I eat, I drink 2 20-ounce bottles of water, which is 40 ounces of water, which is equivalent to 5 glasses of water before I put anything else in my body, right? Why do I do that? Lifestyle. It's lifestyle for me. I've changed my lifestyle so that I can maintain a specific weight and stay in shape without being on a thing, because I can't take being on a diet. But what I can do is change, is say, okay, I'm going to change how I eat for the rest of my life, but all the crazy stuff that I'm not supposed to eat, I'm going to do that at least once a week and I'm going to have a cheat day, which is something you're supposed to do anyway. You're supposed to have a cheat day because you're not supposed to trap yourself into this space where you don't ever eat anything that's bad for you. Like you can't go through life, like, especially if you got people in your family that cook. Like my grandmother's passed, but my mom, like that's big mom in our family now, my mother, right? Because my grandmother passed. My mother is a cook. I'm not eating her pumpkin pie. I'm not eating her peach cobbler. Like, come on, guys. Like, y'all know that. Like, it's just certain people in family that cook that. You're not missing that food, right? Especially during the holidays. You're going to eat that stuff. Those days are cheat days for me. When I get the urge that, you know what? I'm a big Latin food person. Like, I love going to Spanish restaurants, right? When I wanted my Spanish food, if I just get that urge and I get up in the morning, I'm like, you know what? I want, like, a Cuban sandwich today, right? If that's what I want, then guess what? I'm going to go get a Cuban sandwich today, but this is going to be my cheat day. And I'm going to make it as messy as I want to make it. I'm going to have a fried egg on it. I'm going to have mayo on it. I'm going to have mustard on it. I'm going to have oil on it. When I bite that sandwich, it's going to be oil running down my arm, right? Some of you guys feel what I'm talking about, right? So when that happens, guess what? I don't have to feel guilty about it. I don't have to feel like I broke a diet. You know why? Because my mindset is that's my cheat day. And I have one of those once a week where I can do that. And if Friday comes along and I say, you know what? I want to do that again. All I need to do is have the patience to wait until next week and I can do it. You guys follow what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, put yes or yes, YouTube or chat, right? And I'm saying this to you guys because you got to understand that how you think is how you live. How you think is how you live. Most of you all right now listening to this training, if you do not earn 6 figures, You can earn six figures in the next 90 days or more if you just change your mind. If you literally just change your mind and do what you're supposed to do to earn that six figures, you could. Whether you said, I'm gonna do something on the side and earn it on top of my 9 to 5, or I'm gonna leave my 9 to 5 and go do something. I don't care what it is. I don't care whether it's you. I'm gonna start selling things on Amazon. I'm gonna work hard on my network marketing company. I'm going to do whatever it's gonna take for you to do that. You could do it. It's a mindset, guys. It has nothing to do with your bloodline. It has nothing to do with where you live at. It has nothing to do with your spouse. It has nothing to do with your children. All it has to do is what's going on up here, right? That's all it has to do with. But a lot of times we won't look at that. So look, so if you have a growth mindset, then you accept that you can improve your ability and failure. Then you accept that you can improve your ability and failure only tells you what you should work on. Those who have a fixed mindset are all about proving themselves and often become defensive should anyone point out that they made an error. Is that you? Right? The mindset only allows people to measure themselves by their failures. Well, that's something to take in, right? This mindset only allows people to measure themselves by their failures. The growth mindset, on the other hand, often exhibits resilience and perseverance in the face of errors. Instead of adopting a defensive approach, they become motivated to better their performance. That's why a couple of weeks ago, we discussed a defensive mindset, right? A defensive mindset, right? So let's look at some columns here on fixed and growth, right? So take a look at these state of mind statements by people with a fixed and growth mindset. So I'm horrible at math, fixed mindset. Growth mindset, math has been challenging for me. Just catching up, YouTube. Fixed mindset, I can't seem to get organized. Growth mindset, I've tried my hand at organization, but without much success. Fixed mindset, I love cake, but I can't bake. Growth mindset, I like to learn baking, but I haven't started yet. Fixed mindset, I'm no good at origami. Growth mindset, I haven't learned how to do origami yet. Right? And guys, this is simple affirmation stuff. Right? This is simple affirmation stuff. And for those that follow me, I gave you guys an entire audio course on affirmations. If you don't have it, just text me or email me. I gave you guys an entire course on it for free, an audio course on affirmations, concrete affirmations. I gave you guys 100 affirmations that Darlene Quincy used when we did our training together several months ago. I gave you that in that same way. If you click to download that free affirmations audio course that I gave you guys, in that course was that PDF that you can download, that you should have on your mirror or on your whiteboard or in your bedroom that you can use. So guys, all the information is there. It's just whether you're using it or not. I've been giving free stuff away for about 3 years online. When I'm traveling and training, I give away free stuff. Because I believe some things are to be sold and some things to be given away, right? So it's easy to see from these examples that quotes from the fixed mindset group are more of a statement of resignation, such as horrible at, can't seem to, can't bake, no good at. There's an implied unwillingness to try as the person believes that these skills are beyond their scope. A sense of finality prevails within this group. And you know the worst thing about this is when you're doing that at home, your kids are seeing it. Some of you, your grandkids are seeing it. And you're wondering why they have a defeated mindset in high school because they heard you say horrible at, can't seem to, can't bake, no good at, all while they went through elementary school. They heard you say that. And now they need to take a course when you could have been teaching them while you were raising them to do the right thing. Make sense? So the growth mindset presents examples which are more of an observation than a statement. These opinions reflect that there is the possibility of learning a skill if the person puts in some more efforts and tries harder. So when distinguishing the fixed mindset from the growth mindset, keep the following in mind. Goals. The fixed mindset wants to look smart, whereas the growth mindset wants to learn and improve, right? So sticking there, right? You ever see the person that wants to be the smartest person in the room? Fixed mindset, guys. You ever meet somebody that hires and recruits and only friends people that they're smarter than? So I got a friend of mine, and me and her had a conversation. This was a few years ago. I had a conversation with her. Her mindset was so fixed. She had so many insecurities going on that I started realizing that she only put herself around people who she looked better than, who she dressed better than, and that she was in a better place in life. So it was a circumstance where we were having a conversation, and we discovered this during the conversation. So I'm sitting there talking to her, and she says to me, "You want me to introduce you to one of my friends?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Cause I'm good. I don't need no. I'm good. Like I'm good where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking for nobody to date. Like I'm good single. Like I got a lot of stuff going on. Like I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not single because I can't find nobody. I'm single because I have things that I'm trying to accomplish, and I don't want that distraction. In a relationship for me is a distraction because I know how much time it will take, and I don't have that time right now. So I know instead of me getting myself in a dating situation and disappointing some woman, I would rather just stay single, and I'm good with that, right? So she was like, "So do you think any of my friends are like nice looking?" And I'm like, "You probably the most nice looking one in the pack." So then we start talking about that she looked better than the rest of her friends, that she dressed better than the rest of her friends, that she was in a better place in life than the rest of her friends. And what we started to discover during that conversation is that wasn't by coincidence. That was by design. She didn't want better looking friends than her, because when she walked into a room with that group of women, she wanted the people to look at her. When she was in the group with her friends, she wanted to be the smartest person in the room. Guys, that's a fixed mindset. If you're in a room full of people that you're smarter than everybody, you need to be running out of that room, because there's no growth to be had if you're in a room full of people who are all learning from you. You got to get yourself in a place where people are learning, where you are learning from people, right? So goals, right? Challenge seeking. The fixed mindset avoids challenges, but the growth mindset seeks them out. Are you looking for challenges to get better, right? Change. Change is seen as a threat by the fixed mindset, but the growth mindset views the same as a challenge. That's why we say managers maintain, right? Leaders lead. Leaders want change. Like I'm always looking for change. If I don't see change coming, I'm starting to get a little concerned, because there is no growth in maintaining things. Things need to be shaken up. Like that's just the way it works, right? So if anybody, on this Zoom or on YouTube know anything about working out, like when you're in the gym, if you're the person that's walking by and saying, "Why do they have the machine that works the same body part, but they have different machines that work the same body part?" Right? And you're like, okay, so is it because there's so many people coming to the gym that they know that the machine's gonna get overwhelmed? No, because if that was the case, they would have the exact same machine 5 times, right? That's not why. The reason why they have a machine that does upper chest, but they've got 3 different kinds of upper chest machines, because when you do the different exercises to work upper chest, because you're changing the exercise, it tweaks different muscles, even though the main muscle group is your chest. That's why you'll hear personal trainers say it's better to use free weights than it is to use a machine. Because when you're using free weights, you're forced to use all of your muscles because you have to create your form with that dumbbell, versus a machine already has the form set. And when you're doing this on a machine and it's only going to allow you to do this, you're going to work the exact same muscles every time you do that. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily, but every now and then it's good to grab some free weights so that it's not the exact form and you work other muscles. You guys follow that? Yes or yes? So the reason why that happens that way is because change. You gotta have change and understand the art of change is you can be systematic, right? I did a training on this some months ago, right? You can be systematic, but still have change within a system. So don't let anybody tell you that change is bad and that, oh, I'm in a system, so I gotta do this mundane thing every single day in order to be successful, because that's not true. Right? Doing chess once a week is systematic. How you do chess can change as long as you still work that muscle group. Yes or yes? You guys follow me? So just understand, change is seen as a threat by the fixed mindset, but a growth mindset views it as a challenge. So response to setbacks. People trapped in a fixed mindset respond poorly to setbacks, appearing helpless, but those with the growth mindset appear resilient. So look at some responses, right? And let me look at the time. All right, good. All right, so response to criticism. The fixed mindset will appear defensive when faced with criticism, but the growth mindset will learn from it, right? The fixed mindset will appear defensive when faced with criticism, but the growth mindset will learn from it. Is that you? Did you get defensive when a person criticizes you? And it depends on how they criticize you too, so don't be so hard on yourself. If somebody's being nasty and just completely judgmental, sometimes that can hit you the wrong way. But when it's constructive criticism, are you defensive or are you learning and excited that somebody told you that it's something about something, the way you're doing it, right, can be fixed? So for those that got on late, I thank Jim Hicks, like right in the beginning of this training, because Jim Hicks texted me or emailed me or something and was like, hey, I got your book. I don't see your name in here nowhere. And I was like, oh, not a big deal. Like that's it. When my people put my content together, sometimes they don't put that there. He was like, yeah, but I was disappointed because like you wrote a book. Why aren't your credentials and all your stuff in there? And I didn't get defensive because he was right. But we were moving so fast that instead of me taking that content, once I say, hey, this is how I wanted it to be formatted, they formatted, they gave it back. And instead of me, I was in such a hurry to get the information out, to put content out, that I didn't brand this stuff, even though I train people on branding. Does that make sense? So when Jim Hicks approached me with that, I then went into branding mode. And I branded several different ebooks that I have out that I put back out, rebrand, right? So Jim Hicks is getting a free copy because he the one told me. So y'all gotta still pay for y'all. But Jim Hicks is free because he the one turned me on, right? So I didn't get defensive and say, why are you talking to me about why my book is not branded and blah, 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 why my name is not in the book and that. I could have gotten defensive, but I have a growth mindset. And my mindset is if somebody ever comes to me and tell me, hey, you can be better if, I'm interested in knowing what that if is. Right? So response to wrongdoing. The fixed mindset tends to punish and retaliate in this situation, whereas the growth mindset tends to educate and compromise. Educate and compromise. How are you responding to somebody doing you wrong? Boy, that's a tough challenge. Right? Some of y'all need to go to church for this one. How are you responding to wrongdoing? You know, I follow T.D. Jakes, and I listen to T.D. Jakes all the time, and he makes jokes about this all the time, about the man or the woman who's still mad at their ex-husband or ex-wife. That joker married somebody else. They done moved on. They got another child by their new spouse. And you riding by their house in your new car thinking that they upset because you got a new car. I got a new car now. It's been 7 years. You got a new car. You riding by your ex house, hoping they see your new vehicle. Don't nobody care. And you think that it's okay because they did you wrong. It doesn't matter whether they did you wrong or not. How do you respond to a person doing you wrong? Are you being the bigger person? Are you having a growth mindset? Are you looking to punish a person? Are you looking to retaliate? Or are you looking to say, you know what? Let me use this as an opportunity to maybe help this person not do somebody else wrong. Right? How do you communicate that? So this is all personal development type stuff, right? Viewing others' success. The fixed mindset view others' success as a threat, but the growth mindset sees it as inspiring. Ever heard somebody say, don't get upset when your neighbor's been blessed, because all that means is that God is in the neighborhood, right? Yes or yes? You can't get upset at somebody else's, but first of all, you don't even know where their blessing came from. You don't even know what struggle they went through to receive the blessing in the first place. When a person is being is successful, you gotta look at their success and be inspired by their success. What did you do to get there? Because the very person that you're hating on, you may be able to pick up that phone and say, hey, Ty Watson, let's work together. Hey, Bob Frazier, let's work together. I see you having some success in the same field I'm having success in. Let's work together. Because we may be able to increase the success because the energy between those two people, right, causes multiplication as opposed to addition. You guys follow that? Yes or yes? So if you look at, I don't think I've done this training yet for you all, but I train on email list building and collaborating. Like if you're one of my coaching clients, I've talked to you about this, but I may have not talked about it on like this, like on this Wednesday night session. One of the exercises that I do with my clients is reach out to somebody in your field that is doing better than you and collaborate with them. Collaborate with them. You cannot look at other people being successful in your field and say, hey, this is my competition. Unless you know how to have friendly competition. If you're the person that says, when I see competition, it inspires me to do better, and you can use the competition as friendly competition to do better, then it's okay to address it that way. But if your mindset is one that you start hating when it's competition, guys, come on. Viewing others' success is supposed to be inspiring for you. You're not supposed to be hating on somebody who gets a ring faster than you in your company. You're not supposed to be hating on a person that says, hey, that joint network marketing a year after you and they're doing better than you. You're supposed to pick up that phone and saying, hey, Wilma, question for you. I see that you kind of been moving really quick. I've been in the business for 4 years. You've been in 3, and you actually surpassed me. Like, what are you doing? If you don't mind having just a quick conversation with me, because I want to know how I can move at that speed, because I'm really inspired by what you did. Right? Hey, look, I've been a fitness trainer at LA Fitness for 2 years, and I've got a handful of clients that work with me. But you only been here for 6 months. And it's like, everybody likes you. Like, everybody wants to work with you. Like, my clients are inquiring about working with you. Like, what are you saying? What are you doing with your clients that makes everybody want to continue working with you? I never see you lose a client. What are you doing differently than what I'm doing? But no, you're not doing that. You backdooring that fitness trainer trying to get them fired. So you can pick up the clients that they leave when they get fired. Using your energy, right? You're a superhero using your superpowers in the wrong way. Make sense? So I'm telling you guys, it's all on mindset, right? It's all about mindset. Even when you look back at something like that, I'm about to go into chapter 4, don't do that. Like, even when you look at something like that. So if you take, for instance, in a joking manner, you guys remember the good Spider-Man and bad Spider-Man, right? The good Superman and the bad Superman. Remember when the hero, all of the heroes all had these other alternate ego superheroes that came out and they used their powers for bad? You guys remember that, right? Guess what? That was mindset. It wasn't being played out that way, but that's what it was. You got superpowers. You've been given the ability to save lives and you're killing people. That's just mindset at and on steroids. Yes or yes? You may not be killing people with your bad mindset, but you're killing your dream. You're killing your family's dream. You're killing the dreams of the people around you. Right? Everybody has a gift, and you may be using that gift negatively because your mindset is wrong. Because your mindset is wrong. That's how important being in the right mindset is. Right? If you ever take a study or, and this is for the men, right? Or well, I guess it's for the women too. That's because I guess y'all want men to be the right kind of men for you, right? So I guess for the women too. But for the men, if you take a study, look at a study, right? And you can find several studies on some of the things that are most important to women when they're looking for a husband or a good man. One of the main things is just them being a good person. Like the man actually being a really good person. Not what they earn, not how they look, not that they go to the gym and work out, right? Not that they're good in bed, but that they're actually a really good person with a positive attitude. So you got people that are breaking laws and hurting people, right? Breaking laws and hurting people to put themselves in a position to get a certain kind of woman when all they have to do is be a good person. Positive thinking, right? Could probably be making $50,000 a year, but just be a really good individual and get an A+ wife. You guys follow what I'm saying? Mindset is the most important thing. It always has been the most important thing. So it's just important, guys, to understand why I'm going through this series, why I've gotten 3 books on mindset written, because you can't go anywhere. Like when you're a coaching client of mine, mindset is the very first thing in the coaching sessions. It's not even up to you. That's what I'm putting in there first, because we can't talk about nothing else. We can't talk about nothing else first, right? I see you, Barbara, right? Personal development. So for anybody that believes in the Bible, right? If you believe in the Quran, if you believe in any of these religious books that are, I know there's some religious books that might be, whatever, questionable, whatever the case may be, but you guys follow what I'm saying. When you believe in these religious books, look at the stuff in the books, guys. Look at the personal development that you read, that you see on videos, that you see posted, the quotes that you see. All of that stuff comes from the Bible. Personal development comes from the Bible. You can't read me a quote that somebody puts on Facebook or Instagram that doesn't stem from the Bible. Personal development is nothing but mindset. That's all it is. It's that positive way of looking at everything that could possibly happen. You guys follow that? All right, good stuff. So let me stop this share. Excuse my messy background. I'm still working this out over here. I am having progress though on my house. I am having progress. Me and my lonesome self over here trying to do it all by myself, but I am having progress. So let me see. Unmute yourself. Let me see if I even have it so you can unmute. Let me see. Hey, Ty Watson, you saying facts because what I'm saying, or you saying facts because I told you my house messy and you agreeing to that? I mean, I'm just saying.
Thanks. I'm agreeing with you.
Thank you, brother. So if anybody has any questions, real quick before I open up for questions, real quick. So obviously I don't have my other slide pulled up because I got some stuff I'm working out on my slideshow, and I wasn't ready to put it up. But you guys know the mindset book is for sale, so you can get the mindset if you want to get the mindset book. If you haven't gotten it, I know most of you guys got it already. But if you haven't gotten the mindset book, then you can take advantage of getting it. It's still the price is still the same. It's still half price and all that kind of stuff. Like that's not gonna change. Just if you don't know how to get it, just text me or email me and let me know. That's one thing. The other thing, I got that Black Friday special still up. So for those that did not see it posted or didn't get the email, I believe I sent the email out with the Black Friday sale too. But if you didn't see the email and you didn't see it on Facebook, let me know. But the Black Friday sale I did is 2 books, one on mindset and one on leadership. 2 books, 25 audios, and 4 free resources for $24.99. So you can take advantage of that as well. If you haven't and you want to, just hit me, let me know, and I will let you know how to get that that Black Friday sale. Tomorrow, I'm going to be releasing a Zoom setup. And the Zoom setup, I believe, is $10, $9.98 for that Zoom setup. And it's some Zoom training information. If you already got my first Zoom training, don't worry about it because some of the stuff in there is going to be similar. It's an enhanced deal. But if you already have the other one, I wouldn't tell you to get the other one from me. If you have not bought the Zoom master training from me, then I would encourage you to get this Zoom training that's going to release tomorrow. I'm also going to have some free things with it too. So I'm going to put out some free information that you can download that's going to be on Zoom anyway. So it's going to be some general free stuff that I am going to give out, but it's also going to be a 20-page ebook on how to use Zoom to better your business. And then I've got a bigger book coming out on how to enhance your business and your life, meaning because of COVID, because of things that's happening, how you can use it in your family life for your family gatherings and stuff like that. Because look, we don't want people sick and dying. If you don't believe in COVID or believe in masks or you want to still socialize, and you don't believe in any of the anti-social things, then forget what I'm saying, that it's not applied to you. But for those that are in the mindset of, hey, I'm masking up, I want to see my family, but I want to social distance, there's going to be some things in that Zoom book that's going to talk about that in the bigger book. But the one that's releasing tomorrow is a 20-page book, and it talks to you about everything from using a virtual background to recording, to getting your settings correctly, to how to prepare, how to dress appropriately. All those different things are going to be in that Zoom book, and it's like $10 for that Zoom book. And like I said, it's going to be some other things come along with it, like some Zoom articles. Some of you guys already have my Zoom articles because you bought the other program. If you have that, don't buy it again. So just keep in mind, if you're not sure, contact me before you buy it. If you buy it by mistake and I know it, I'll reimburse you, so don't worry about that. That's good. Lastly, before I open up and answer questions, I know some of you are still, for whatever reason, have not received the other book, the first book, the network marketing book, and I'm having all kinds of issues with that book. And it's more than I wouldn't even bother telling you guys, but let me tell you what I'm doing to fix it in the meantime. In the meantime, while I'm dealing with the company that I was working with for my first book, which was just a huge mistake, and I have another company. So now you guys know when you're buying stuff from me, you just download it. You don't even have to talk to me. You buy it and you download it. That's a new system that I have. The old system, I'm having so many issues with that, with the stuff being sent out the way it's supposed to get sent out from them to you all, that it's just gotten to a point to where if you haven't received it, I'm still working on that for you, right? I'm still working on that for you. But until then, any book that I have out, any material that I have out, whether it's my leadership stuff, whether it's my personal development stuff, if you go to my my digital training by Dunbar Digital Products, everything I have is there. Everything I have is there. Choose something that you want, and I'll give it to you for free. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Any program you want. It can be an audio course, a video course. It can be an ebook, whatever you want. Just go there and just be like, Dunbar, look, I didn't get my first book. Until I get it, can I go ahead and get this? And you can download it. And I don't have to send it to you. You'll be able to click a link and just download it. because I don't want nobody thinking that. I mean, I know you guys only paid like $249 for the book or whatever. It's not the money; it's the principle. So it's not, my concern is not about you pay an arm and a leg for the book. It's not what you pay; is that you didn't get the book. And I'm fighting with these people, but in the meantime, it's not your fight. So I want you to be able to at least know that you got something. And then when everything is fixed on that end, when I finish working on whatever it has to be done, you're gonna still get that book, regardless. But in the meantime, you get the other thing for free. So I've done that for a couple of people. They were satisfied with that. So please just let me know if you need to if you need me to do that for you, or if you need to do that. So now that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and open up for questions here. So, you have any questions about anything? Any comment? The floor is open. Just unmute yourself.
Yes, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, I'm having some real challenges, opportunities, whatever you want to call them, to get to this course each Wednesday. Every time I go to the group, what's there is the Monday class. And I don't really see it. I'm not a Facebook guru, but I don't see how I can consistently get to the Wednesday class without having to ask you for the link. So what do I need? What adjustments do I need to make to make that happen?
I normally have it posted everywhere. So one thing is normally on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So, but let's just say you're not on any of that stuff. Let's just say you're saying, look, I don't do social media at all. Just not something that I get on, so I can't see it there. What do I do? You should be receiving an email every week. Sometimes I send 2 with the next training. The challenge that you might be having is because, guys, it doesn't matter whether I'm using MailChimp, whether I'm using ConvertKit. It doesn't matter whether I'm using Response. But emails will go to spam for whatever reason. It's just something I don't have any control over. So a lot of people will tell me, hey, I'm not getting the emails. And I do not know why your email server is not allowing you to get the emails I send. I just don't have any control over that sometimes. So if you're not getting the email and you're not seeing it on social media as well, the only thing you can do is text me or email me and ask me for it, because I can't make sure it gets delivered if it just doesn't go there. Like when I send it out through my mailer, it's going out. My email goes out to over 2,000 people. So I'm sending the email to over 2,000 people, and I know that everybody's not getting it, because I just know that it just doesn't work that way. Everybody's not gonna get it. Some of y'all's gonna go to y'all spam. Some of y'all's email gonna block it for whatever reason. It's just gonna be all kind of technical difficulties. So I do not know why some of you aren't receiving the email that goes out, but I actually put together an email with images and everything else saying, hey, this is the training that's we're gonna be talking about. It's got the link in there. It normally has last week's training in there. So if you're getting that email, if you don't mind jumping in the chat saying that you're getting it, that would be good for me to know. If you're not getting it, put that you're not getting the email. I know that you all are on the email list. That I know for sure. So
you brought up a good point. I'll go check spam. It might even be there.
Yeah, it could be there. But
yeah,
you can if you're on social media, if you're out on social media, you can always go to the Becoming an Entrepreneur page. It's going to be there. You can always go to my Instagram page. Is going to be there. You can always go to LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn and go to my profile, and it's going to be there. I always post my trainings there. I put it on Twitter too, but it's always going to be on LinkedIn. It's always going to be on Instagram, and it's always going to be on my Becoming an Entrepreneur page. Sometimes I put it on my personal page. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do an Instagram story. Sometimes I don't. That's kind of inconsistent. But the email, you should be getting one on Saturday and one on Wednesday morning or afternoon. That's normally how I have it set up to go out. But I know that how email systems work, and they just don't always deliver for different reasons. And I've tried different ones, and some of them do better than others, but they all have their glitches. So the fail safe, if nothing else, you can't find it, just text me, because I'm gonna have the link like I know you hit me up like right when this one started. You text me or you messaged me on Messenger and was like, hey, could you email me the link? and I pushed you. I went on here and shot you the link real quick because I had it available, and I can normally just send it right to you there. I tried to do just a consistent setup on Zoom where it's just there automatically, but it kept requiring different things that I thought was too much of a hassle for the people getting on. So I stopped it. So that's why I that's not going the way it is. But I'll see if I can figure out some kind of way to do that where you guys will just have the general information to be able to do that.
Okay, I'll check spam, and whatever I find out, I will text you the result.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? Going once?
Ms. Dungabar, this is Zephanie.
Hey, what's up, Zephanie? How you doing?
Good, good. Great training again tonight. Really great stuff about adjusting the mindset. Did have a quick question with regard to just the LinkedIn. In terms of if you're going to be doing any kind of training on how we can present ourselves on LinkedIn in the future?
I can because I do a LinkedIn training. I probably need to update it because LinkedIn changes so much. But I can tell you in a short context that I would, if you, I know that you personally, you're in Legal Shield. I would not put that on my profile. Yeah, and it's not, guys, anybody know me by now, y'all know I'm talking about brand. This is not me at all saying that anything's wrong with Legal Shield. I mean, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that because when somebody views your profile and they see Legal Shield, they're determining whether they want to deal with you or not without knowing who you are.
Right.
And you cannot allow Legal Shield to precede you. So that's why it's so important going back to some of the other things that I talked about forming a company. So if you go to my LinkedIn account, I have training by Dunbar there and I have my logo on my background. That's why it's so important to be a company within Legal Shield. Because
right.
You have to brand yourself. You can sell Legal Shield all day long. And the best example I can give you, Zephanie, is that somebody works for New York Life. Somebody works for State Farm Insurance, right?
Right.
Another insurance agent is an independent agent who has those logos hanging up on their wall, and they have their own insurance agency, but they offer those products. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you're offering those products and you've got other products to offer, you're branding yourself as the independent insurance agent that's giving them options to buy different insurance products.
Correct.
You're not State Farm. You're not New York Life. You're not whatever other insurance company that you may represent. So what I'm asking you is to not be Legal Shield.
Right. And I'm trying to come up with that, I guess the branding and a name for, I guess my covering my company, so that I can, I guess, encompass everything that I am able to present, and not just the Legal Shield, but other things that I'm able to represent. But that's a challenge right now, just getting the focus narrowed to what am I branding myself as in terms of an overall company or agency. Mm-hmm.
I would tell you, I got branded material. Some of it has been free, some of it is at a cost. I can't remember which one is which. I just don't remember. If I got something free you want to grab, you might want to go there and try to grab it. If it's something that costs, it's not going to cost you much. It's probably going to be $10 or something like that. I would tell you to get like the personal branding stuff. Like I got personal branding ebooks and stuff that's available. I would say look at that to help you set that up because it'll tell you how you establish, how you want to brand yourself.
Okay.
And I would say use that, but don't put too much time in company names and all that kind of stuff, because what's going to end up happening is who you are and what you bring to the table is going to determine your customer base. So
Okay.
don't get too hung up on, Coca-Cola or Sprite. You see what I mean?
Right.
Don't get too hung up. What does Netflix mean? Don't mean nothing. You see what I mean?
I got you. I got
Yeah,
you.
don't get so caught up in like like the color of my logo and what I'm gonna name it, and is the name going to be a catchy phrase? If you're offering something through your company that's beneficial, people are going to you're going to get customers. Bottom line, you see what I mean? That's just the way it's going to work. I understand that you want your stuff to look a certain way, and obviously, that's what graphics and stuff are for. So we want it to be appealing. But don't get so caught up in that you don't ever start.
Right. Gotcha.
You don't want that. Like, I got a company called Living Legacy Benefits Group. I mean, I created it because it's for nonprofits and churches and things like that for me to do real workshops. My other company is Oceanside Benefits. What was important to me in that name? Benefits. I want to have benefits in there because that's what people are going to look for when they're looking for companies that offer benefits. They're looking for that terminology, benefits. So I put that in our name. Why Oceanside? Because I live in Florida and I'm by 3 beaches. Don't mean nothing to nobody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just Oceanside to me because it meant something to me, but that's not gonna mean nothing to nobody else. I just use it to choose a name. So Oceanside Benefits is not some kind of catchy name that I'm gonna get more business because it exists, but I just have to come up with a name. You know what I mean?
Right. I got it. Yeah.
Look at my training company. You can't get no more boring than that, right? I'm training by Dunbar. It's training by Dunbar, right?
This is a lot, for you because you got the personal training, you're training in the motivational material, you're training as a legal shield. So that, I guess I'm trying to get an umbrella like that because I see how you branded yourself.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's why I did it that way. I did just training by Dunbar because it was like, you know what? It's me training, so I guess I'll just call it training by Dunbar. And the logo, I didn't have a whole bunch to do with it. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. And I mentioned this on here before. My logo was created by a 23-year-old girl that lives in Africa.
Right.
That's who made my logo. She created it. I gave her some ideas, but she came up with it. Like, if you look at the backdrop of my logo where it's got mindset and success and all these terminologies that I use, believe it or not, she put that in my logo. She did that. And asked me, did I like it? And I told her, yeah. I was already using that terminology and stuff, but I didn't tell her that. That just happened to work out that way. That wasn't planned.
Wow.
It wasn't planned at all. So it's just things, it just worked out that way. So it's really just about, what was more important to me was getting it done. What was more important to me was getting set up, not how it was going to look. And when she, like the color scheme, I told her the color scheme for my logo. She used the color scheme, but the rest of the stuff she came up with the magnifying glass and the head and even the TBD that I use, TBD, which is training by Dunbar. I didn't even come up with the acronym, she did. Even though it's the acronym to training by Dunbar, I never even thought to use TBD. The girl did.
Okay. Yeah.
And I paid about $35 for that.
Yeah.
So I'm just, it wasn't some big, corporate deal. It was really just me being more adamant about saying, I got to get this stuff started. You know what I mean? My publishing company, Dunbar Publishing, it's Dunbar Publishing. Why did I do it? Because my coach was like, hey, you need to form your own publishing company. I said, for what? He said, because you're going to pay a publishing company to do all your publishing for you? And I was like, yeah. He was like, that's not a good idea. Get your own people to do the stuff and then pay them and keep the rest of the money in your company. And I said, well, how should I form a publishing company? He said, just go form a company. I said, what did I call it? He said, Dunbar Publishing. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm telling you, you could be so stupid and be successful. It's not even funny. And it's like, people be thinking that you got to be this creative design. And it's like, my coach was like, dude, just call it Dunbar Publishing. Like, you overthinking this. Just go form the damn company. Go ask me all these questions. Like, that's kind of what he was saying to me. Like, you
just go do it.
Way too much, dude. Just go form a company. Nobody cares what the name of your company is. Just go form a company. We're forming it for a purpose, not for it to have a name. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? We need you to get to work, and you can't get to work unless you do this stuff. And that's kind of where it's at. So now I'm on like my 7th book since Corona started. And it's because my coach is like, dude, will you please quit thinking and just write the damn stuff down that's in your head and give it to us. Just write it down and give it to us and we'll format it. Like, you trying to figure out who's going to buy it and you saying this right and you saying that right. Nobody cares. Just put this, give us the stuff. We're going to format it. We're going to send it back to you. You get it edited. You do this, you do that. Put it out there. The people who buy it, buy it. The people who don't. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
And that's really what it is.
Well, you just gave me a landmine that blew me out of the water and got me unstuck. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Go on once. Go on twice. Make sure ain't no hands up. All right, fantastic. Well, I appreciate you guys. Let's see what time it is. Woo, hour and 25 minutes. I'm gonna have to cut this down on the editing. So next week, more mindset, guys. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 more chapters left. 4 or 5 more chapters left on mindset, and then we're going to go from mindset into some leadership training as well. You know, the leadership training is going to be some good stuff. I've already got the book created for it and everything. Some of you guys have already bought the book actually, but it's good stuff. I see you, Todd Watson. Yes. Oh yeah. By the way, guys, Todd Watson. I'm working with Todd Watson, and we're going to be doing some training together. So we will send an email out, and you guys will be able to plug into that. We're going to start doing a couple of trainings together with me and Todd Watson, who is a motivational speaker and a leadership trainer. We're going to be training together and giving you guys some material as a team, guys, because this is what it's about, guys. It's about collaborating and moving forward and giving people the information that they need so that they can be successful. And that's what I'm up to do. That's what I love to do. That's what I love to do. So you guys will be getting some emails with some more information. I got a special, something about to come out now. Like I said, you guys will get the email on that probably tomorrow between 10 and 12 o'clock or something like that. Download the free stuff. If you want to buy this other stuff that's for sale for $10, buy it, but definitely download the free stuff. Download the free stuff and take advantage of it, because it's going to show you how to make your Zoom experience better, because guys, that's where everything is going. You can't avoid it. Right? I don't care whether you can use Zoom, StreamYard, whatever you're going to do. But right now, guys, the way things are, if you want to, don't wait for an antidote. Don't wait for all of this stuff to happen to see your family. I talk to my grandbaby on Zoom. You know what I mean? I see her, but I talk to her on Zoom, because you got to have that relationship, guys. You got to be able to talk to people, and she's 19 months, guys. And you know, when I call and they put her on the camera, she know who I am through the camera. So, you know, like learning Zoom is worth your time, because you can have family get-togethers, guys. I got like the women in my family, they do like wind down. The ladies in my family, my sisters, my mom, my nieces, my cousins, they're all women. Not they all women, but all my women in the family, they do wind down. They got a day, they got one evening every week where they all get on Zoom together, and they all have their wine and they talk, and they just have a family get together. Guys, they're getting together more on Zoom than they were in person. So this virus is really creating them to be a stronger unit, because they can sit at home in their living room or go into a separate room in the house, take their glass of wine, and now they're on a Zoom with 9, 10, 11, 12 other family members that's all women, and they're just kind of kicking it. And they wasn't even doing that before. So there's so much you can do with Zoom and things like that. So that's why I put the training together for, so you can understand how to use Zoom effectively, so you can be using it. I mean, this Zoom is free. I mean, you know, they got a paid version, but it's a free version. So why not download it and use it on your cell phone and on your home computer, whatever the case may be. So, all right, guys, good stuff. Closing out. For those that's listening to a recording, right about now, you'll see some videos popping up from our previous trainings that we did here on this channel. So click on any of those videos, and they will take you through that, maybe 45 minutes to an hour and 15-minute training. Take a look at some of our other videos as well. And also, bottom right-hand side of the screen, you can click subscribe and always hit the notification bell. Hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified when we drop another video. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Becoming an Entrepreneur Training by Dunbar. Look forward to seeing you guys on next week.